Then you come tell me why people might think you a sellout. I think you needed them school lunches, Stevie. I was taken out of context. After a while, is it people taking you out of context or you don't know how to communicate?
Well, I'ma just ether Stevie Knight.
I could care less. Like, it is what it is, dog. This life. Life is fucking hard, dog. And some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro.
You want this?
I never said want. I said these resources are available to them.
But that's what your solution is, right? You're fine.
Not my solution.
Bro, what is your opinion? I don't have any solutions, bro. I'm not saying what my solution is. I'm saying this solution exists.
This whole argument.
It's been a horrible, terrible, no good week for Stevie. Ever since embarrassing himself by defending some of Charlie Kirk's worst stances in a debate against ABBA.
It is what it is. So logically, it is what it is. Oh, that's cap.
That's cap? Did you Google it? Did you Google it? If you just Google it, it's like so many kids today here in America, you could look it up the statistics that have malnutrition, that have food scarcity, that have all these problems. It stunts their growth. It bucks them up in terms of their academic success.
Which was bad enough, but then Stevie proved he was delusional while dropping 2 more videos about the debate. The first calling ABBA fake for how the debate went and saying he was taken out of context the whole debate.
Here we go, bro. He taking me out of context again. See, ABBA ain't shit. He ain't shit.
Every time someone's too stupid to enunciate their own point, they always say I was taken out of context.
And the second, Stevie was clearly emotional about the pushback he was receiving. And instead of correcting any of his clearly flawed and illogical stances or statements, he decided to double down and play the victim.
For people to view me and judge me on what I'm saying based on my skin tone.
They call you a sellout because of the kind of shit you produce.
And I guess ABBA said fuck all that and decided to drop a final video going for the
fatality.
We're doing another Stevie Knight video, and I know that half of you are like,
I could care less. I could care less about
Stevie Knight. No, you just don't know how to communicate. Maybe if you got a school lunch every time in the 3rd grade, you'd be able to read, speak, and think past a 4th grade level.
And I just really don't know if Stevie will recover from this. But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into
Stevie Knight. He has a titled video called Damn, Is ABBA Fake?
I cannot say that I saw this coming. ABBA ain't no stranger to doing the extra, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna just summarize this first point, but I'll link the video below so you guys can go watch it.
Preach always looks so bored. ABBA gets caught up in these debates and back and forths with people. Preach is always just there.
For those of you who didn't watch the debate, consider yourself lucky. Here's a recap.
I feel like, do you feel like? I feel like I could care less about why you feel the way you feel. I'm not a fucking machine.
They need to be controlled. They need to be decapitated
To feel heard. I feel like everybody's gonna feel differently. There is emotion tied to it, bro. I'm a human being. Some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro. It is what it is. So logically, it is what it is. Oh, that's cap.
That's cap? Did you Google it? Did you Google it?
I don't need to Google it. Somebody Google it in the chat.
I don't even need to look up the stat.
Every motherfucker engaged in evil.
That debate was such a horrible look for Stevie. I'm still shocked every time I see those clips, just how detached and deranged he sounded.
During our debate, there was a discussion about school, food lunches, starvation, food insecurity. Stevie and Kirk were constantly making this point that like kids are not starving, so we don't need these free lunches in school. There's other ways for the kids to get food. Okay, that's pretty much the general gist of it. I try to explain that like not everyone has good parents. Food stamps are not always accessible. 7-year-old can't apply for food stamps. Stevie's like, listen, it's not a real problem. Kids are not emaciated, dying on the side of the street.
Yeah, Stevie really tried to hang his hat on the word starving. I feel like everyone knew what the subject was about. Hungry kids going to school and being able to get free school breakfasts and lunches. And when Albert brought up facts, Stevie didn't want to see them.
I don't even need to look up the stat.
But then in his response, he tried to bring up his own facts, which was specifically he was talking about starving, like dying, starving kids instead of hungry kids. And I just feel like that wasn't the debate. And it's still evil to not feed hungry kids.
He harps on the fact that during the debate, Stevie himself was talking about starvation, like 3rd world starvation, like kids, skinny bones, big belly, dying, you know?
This isn't fucking... People, it's not a famish going on. People are not dying because...
No, they're not dying, but...
Famish.
I was talking about that. You were talking about a different problem that's less serious. And it's kind of disingenuous of you, ABBA, to misrepresent me.
We can't be switching words out now, man. Food insecurity is entirely different than starving. That was the question posed in that debate with Kirk.
Now, here's where I'll be accountable. Shouldn't have used the word starvation when I was talking, man. Even though us in colloquial terms, like, yo, I'm starving today, I need to eat. in a discussion, you should define terms. That's my fault.
You also gave yourself a 3 out of 10.
I was just about to say, this is the second time that Abba actually took accountability to say something that he could have done better in the debate. In Stevie's 2 videos, he took no accountability. The whole video, not one time. He was a victim. Abba was wrong. He was right. Everybody's mean to him for no reason. And it's just weird because for these people that preach accountability, they always take none of it.
For the debate performance?
Yes.
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. What I don't like is this very bad faith interpretation on his behalf. When him and Kirk argue against school lunches, them talking about starvation, these programs were never implemented to stop famine. They were not put in place so that kids were about to die on the side of the street and like, hey, here's a little sandwich at lunchtime. They were put in place to combat malnutrition because a lot of folks who didn't have access to food would show up, not eat, and their performance levels at school were bad. They couldn't pay attention. That's what the program's about. I personally think it's incredibly bad faith to come to a debate about a topic, about a policy, and argue against something that's never intended for. And throughout the debate with him too, I mentioned it. If you just Google it, it's like so many kids today here in America, you could look it up, the statistics, that have malnutrition, that have food scarcity, that have all these problems. It stunts their growth. It fucks them up in terms of their academic success. If we were talking about kids dying on the side of the street, why the would I be talking about the fact that they won't get a good grade? And who cares? If we were talking about something that was terminal, I think I'd probably be like, how do we save these kids from dying?
I understand what you're trying to say. What I don't understand is why the f are we debating school lunches?
Sure.
Like you're trying to make a whole point about, F them kids.
It's just such a stupid argument in the first place. America is the richest country in the world, and we are arguing about funding school lunches. With all the money we give overseas to all these different countries, we fund wars, we fund everything. That makes no sense to me, and them arguing against feeding hungry kids is really callous.
You know, you're shitty parents. I get it, dog. This life is fucking hard, dog. And some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah, but
No school lunch.
There are absolutely kids born in shitty circumstances with bad parents, parents on drugs, stuck in poverty, whatever it is. And we should be doing everything we can to help those kids. For Stevie to look at those kids or situations and just fuck them is insane and really inhumane.
Circumstances, bro. It is what it is.
yeah, but
No school lunches. What? Why do you go against that?
I know.
That's the debate.
Y'all
Of
don't
all
want to give it to
things.
kids, but prisoners get it, military members get it, a whole bunch of different adults get it. Also, aren't we a first world country? Like, just because we're not dealing with third world country problems, don't we solve them all the time? It's like saying, yo, we don't need to make our roads better because we don't have dirt roads like third world country.
Show me a single child in America going hungry. Doesn't exist.
That's just
Hungry.
not true.
Hungry.
We have a child obesity problem, not a child starvation problem in this country.
I don't understand this thing where it's like it has to be one or the other. You know, you could have rich and poor people, you could have educated people, and Stevie Knight. Both of those things can all coexist.
Americans don't know what starving is. We don't know what starving is, man. But, you know, I see what he's doing here. He's playing semantics and moving the goalposts with this conversation, bro.
I think if anything, Stevie was the one actually playing semantics because after he lost the debate, then he came back to make the distinction and nail it in that he was specifically talking about the 1% of kids in America that are starving as opposed to general hungry kids in America that need to eat lunch at school.
I love how you accuse me of playing semantics.
That's what
He
doing.
spent 13 minutes talking about starvation versus food insecurity and not getting enough meals.
That's comedy gold right there.
If you talk like that about kids not having access to food, is it any wonder why people think you guys are monsters?
Bruh, here we go, bro. He taking me out of context again. See, Abba ain't shit. He ain't shit.
Every time someone's too stupid to enunciate their own point, they always say I was taken out of context.
No, anytime anyone is on the wrong side of any information or debate, they say they're taken out of context. Every single Charlie Kirk clip up that comes off racist or sexist, people are arguing that it's taken out of context. I argue that additional context doesn't matter if you say you force your 10-year-old kid who is raped to have a baby instead of allowing her to have an abortion. Your additional beliefs or values don't outweigh the evil that you're advocating for. And that's the same with Stevie.
Here we go, bro. He taking me out of context again. See, Abba ain't shit. He ain't shit.
Every time someone's too stupid to enunciate their own point, they always say I was taken out of context. No, you just don't know how to communicate. Maybe if you got a school lunch every time in the 3rd grade, you'd be able to read, speak, and think past a 4th grade level. Maybe. I think you needed them school lunches, Stevie. I was taken out of context. I was taken out of context. After a while, is it people taking you out of context or you don't know how to communicate? I'm just asking. The thing you're going to know, he's a big-time fence sitter. He just won't take a stance. They'll have the whole thing. He's like, I don't care. I ain't pro-life. I ain't pro-choice. I don't care if the kids get the food, but I'm a capitalist. I'm against government handouts. I don't want the government to come save the world, but I don't care if they pass a program. If it happens, it happens. It's like probably anti-abortion. Am I right?
That was another thing that was so weird about Stevie in the debate. Everything that he argued for, he would then turn around and say, well, I don't care either way. What's the debate about then? You're just debating another guy's points that you don't even believe in?
Happens. It's like probably anti-abortion. Am I right?
No, I don't know. I could care less. I'm not pro. I'm not anti. I respect this. I don't agree with it. Like,
But you want the government to get involved and stop abortions.
I never said. I don't give a fuck about what anybody does with abortion.
Did you say it's a bigger problem?
Yeah, I said it's a bigger problem, but I didn't give a solution to it. I know it's a problem.
Okay.
I could care less. Like, it is what it is, dog. This life is fucking hard, dog. And some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro.
You want this?
I never said want. I said these resources are available to them.
But that's what your solution is, right? You're
That's
fine.
not my solution.
Bro, what is your opinion? I don't have any solutions, bro. I'm not saying what my solution is. I'm saying this solution exists.
This whole argument.
Like, I genuinely, guys, maybe I needed the school lunches in school. Maybe I just don't get what this guy's
The
talking about.
whole debate was just eye roll.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree with you with that, but I don't disagree with Kirk either.
I'm both anti-gun and pro-gun. You know what I'm saying? I could care less, bro. I could care less.
I don't know. I could care less. I could care less. I could care less. I could care less about.
I'm like, I couldn't care less, right? Stevie, you deserve that school lunches. I'm sorry it wasn't given to you.
How can you debate when you don't have a stance, when the point of a debate is to argue your stance, pro or against? But him just being offensive or destroyed any of the points that he was trying to make.
I could care less.
And here's the thing that's funny. Remember when he said he's not pro-choice or pro-life? But he refers to it as killing babies.
Abortions and food insecurity. Why are we comparing killed babies to babies that are alive?
You're probably anti-abortion, am I right?
No, I don't know. I could care less. I respect his stance. I'm not pro. I'm not anti. I respect his stance. I don't agree with it, of course.
Killed babies.
That was another dumb point in the debate that he actually brought up that comparison in the debate. What are there more of? Hungry kids in America or abortions? And there were way more hungry kids in America than abortions. I think abortions was like 1 million or something. Hungry kids, I think, was like 7 million, something like that. So he even lost the point that he brought up. And then in the video, when he tried to double down, he was like, that's a dumb comparison. Why would we even debate that? Because he brought it up in the first place.
I don't give a fuck about what anybody does with abortion.
You couldn't care less about what they do with abortion, but you also think that they're killing babies. Do you guys understand how much of a fence sitter and sociopathic person you have to be to really have that worldview? I really think that, I think abortion is murder. But
I could care less.
Like the pro-choice people don't think the fetus is a child. That's why they're justified in their position.
Yeah.
And the pro-life people think it is.
I don't want to call Stevie dumb. I just think he was really uneducated on the subjects that he was speaking about and really unprepared to debate anybody that had any stance, knowledge, or facts on what they were arguing about. So he just came off looking really unintelligent in that debate.
It's a baby, and I don't care if they die. But he did a more recent video, one that you haven't seen. Because he got a lot of backlash after he put out this video. His own fans were turning on him like, yo, Stevie, you were bugging. You were being hyper emotional.
Oh, no, the
comment section
was
flaming him. Titled, Am I Sellout to Black People?
Bootlicker, coon, coconut, sellout, as of this whole.
Hey, the coconut thing threw me. I never heard that before. Y'all had to let me know in the comments. It's being brown on the outside and white on the inside. So it's the same thing as Oreo, basically. Brown on the outside, white on the inside. I never heard of coconut before, though. That was funny.
Kirk situation, bro, these labels have been flying at your boy. Black man with more of a conservative take on things, like thinking black people need to be a monolith. Like all black people need to look the same and feel the same and view things the same.
Sure, but that's not the case right now. That's not the reason why. I understand what you're saying, but that's not what's happening.
Black man with more of a conservative take.
I really don't think people care if somebody is conservative or Democrat. I think they care how they carry themselves and what they say against people that they disagree with. So, for instance, you attacking anybody black that's a liberal or Democrat or that doesn't agree with conservative talking points or ideologies and saying they're brainwashed is a problem. And none of these black conservative YouTubers can just be conservative and stand on their points and their principles without attacking the black community, which is where I have the biggest problem with. If you're a conservative, be a conservative. Talk about conservative things. But all of their content is centered around shitting on the black community, which I just hate.
Black culture is going to despise.
This idea that black folks are somehow incredibly liberal, and that's not true. A lot of social issues relating to transness, gay marriage. There's no group that's more against it than black folks in the USA. The highest religious group in the USA is also black folks by percentage. I think people believe that either because they're never around black folks or know nothing about them. They think that how people vote maps on one-to-one with what their values are, and that's just not true.
It's definitely not true. I said in the other video, I'm an independent. There are some things I agree with the right on, some things I agree with the left on, some things I really dislike about the left, and some things I hate about the right. But when it comes down to two candidates, you have to vote one way or the other at the end of the day as who you more closely identify with, is carrying on your beliefs and principles, and who you think will help society the most.
Regardless of what it is that I'm saying, for people to view me and judge me on what I'm saying based on my skin tone.
They call you a sellout because of the kind of shit you produce. You're not even presenting their arguments of why they think you're a sellout. I want you guys to go to his channel, Night Talk. Go to the search button. Not my feelings. Facts. Search the word black. See how many videos this guy makes shitting on black people and black culture.
I did the exact same thing for Anton Daniels in the earlier video. You just type in black fatigue and it is a gazillion videos. If they're making that many videos like that, they're not trying to help, uplift, or better black people or the black community. They're hypercritical of black people and the left, and they don't have anything negative to say about the right. They put them in the best light possible or don't talk about them at all. So that lets you know where they stand.
Now, I did take the time to click on a lot of these videos just to make sure, but let's look at some of these titles. I hate black people, and he agrees with them for a lot of the video. Black people are sick of black people. Dear black people, you suck. Black men don't date black women. Black people don't want to hear this. Only weak black men date white women. You know, shout out to, because he's dating the white woman. He's got a complex. He's a little bit, insecure about that. He does get comments though, so I get it. Black Lives Matter 2.0? I hate black women. Black people have to stop being victims. She told white people, finally, she told white people to stay out of the Black Panther. Okay, so it's still critiquing a black person on behalf of white people. This makes black women look so bad. And you gotta appreciate the hypocrisy. They'll be like, oh my God, these people think about race way too much. And they make that much amount of content about black people. Now flip it. Put in the word white. You will not find a single video, even though there's mass shootings, even though just recently there was a guy who ran up on that church and blasted a bunch of people, a MAGA guy. He hasn't covered it. Will he ever talk about any of these? Black people don't want to hear this. Only weak black men date white women. You know, shout out to, because he's dating the white woman. He's got a complex. He's a little bit, insecure about that. He does get comments though, so I get it. Black Lives Matter 2.0? I hate black women. Black people have to stop being victims. She told white people, finally, she told white people to stay out of the Black Panther. Okay, so it's still critiquing a black person on behalf of white people. This makes black women look so bad. And you gotta appreciate the hypocrisy. They'll be like, oh my God, these people think about race way too much, and they make that much amount of content.
Anytime black people talk about race or history, slavery, civil rights, it's a problem. It's everything about race. But when you go to these black conservative pages, just about every video is about black people or titled black something or shitting on the black community. It's hypocrisy at its finest.
Now flip it. Put in the word white. You will not find a single video, even though there's mass shootings, even though just recently there was a guy who ran up on that church and blasted a bunch of people, a MAGA guy. He hasn't covered it. Will he ever talk about any of these topics that plague certain communities? No. Now, you might say, but asymmetry is not necessarily a bad thing. And I agree. Sometimes you might have an asymmetry in the kind of things you make because you have more proximity to something. Fair. Do you do so in a nuanced way? Other communities have this, that. No, you don't contextualize it. You just be like, they're bad, they're bad, they're bad. And then let's go to your audience.
And that's probably the biggest thing to me, that their platform gives a safe space for conservatives and anti-blackness in their comments. If you go to any of their videos and see their comments, it's nothing but people shitting on black people and talking about black fatigue is global. It's disgusting and sick for real.
Why do you have so many people being like, fuck yeah, Stevie, you're based? Stevie tried one time. Stevie made a video about Nick Fuentes talking crazy about black folks.
So I guess Nick Fuentes, he's on another racist tangent. But with that, I'm in agreement with a lot of things that he said outside of the generalization of black folk, because your boy got some ghetto fatigue.
That video is one of his most disliked videos. Mm-hmm. And he hasn't talked about the criticism he got in that video. He hasn't talked about the backlash. He didn't make a follow-up on that one. His audience was shitting on him en masse. Why? Because they're like, yo, Nick Fuentes is based. He's right about what he's saying. You don't have to believe me. Go look at Night Talk channel and see the kind of content he produces. And
When they're grifters to conservative or to the right, they can't speak on conservative people. They can't speak on white people because they will get destroyed in their comments and they will lose that audience. And then they can't come back to the other side because we know who they are by now.
then you come tell me why people might think you a sellout. Maybe they don't want you to manufacture a narrative that only the black community seems to have problems because that's all you ever talk about. That's something that's always interesting to me is like black conservatives will often get very defensive when they get called out on stuff. But it's like sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about what you don't say. It's a lack of fairness. Imagine being in a family, you and your siblings all cause problems, and your parent only comes after you to scold you. At some point you'd be like, shit, I know I'm fucking up, but like bro and sis fucking up too. He might lie now, he might say, oh, disproportionate. Like, yo, there's some crimes that even when you go proportionate, white people commit more. If you want to look at political violence, which you seem to care so much about since you made 20 videos on your daddy Kirk, that's almost exclusively white men. But if I'm wrong, Stevie, prove it. Why don't you spend the next year covering the other stuff? Let's see how well your channel going through. Let's see them dislikes. Let's see how your audience that you think are there for you and not because you're a bootlicker.
These black conservatives have an audience because they're black people and they shit on the black community. They say things that white people can't say without being called racist. And they get a whole bunch of people in the comments that agree with all their stances on how ignorant black people are. That's the only reason they have audiences.
See how long they last. And if I'm wrong, you know what up, CV? I'll put my money where my mouth is. Dislikes. Let's see how your audience that you think are there for you and not because you're a bootlicker. Let's see how long they last. And if I'm wrong, you know what up, CV? I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll give you 50 grand. If you spend a year doing that kind of content, because there's evil, right? It's about evil.
It should be a good versus evil thing.
I'll put 50 grand in escrow and I'll watch. And you show me the analytics. You show me the audience you cultivated. I don't want to talk about feelings. I want to see facts.
Ain't no way in a million years Stevie is taking that challenge at all. Because he knows what his audience is and he knows the environment that he's cultivating over there.
The thing that happened is that you probably just found the reason why he's fan sitting, because he doesn't want to necessarily upset the black, and he also doesn't necessarily want to upset the whites. So he's like, man, me no say, bro, I don't know. What you think?
Me no say.
That's what it is. And now he's getting the flag, and he's saying that it's really black people shitting on him. But I've seen in the comments, it's not just black people.
Absolutely.
It's people that even agree with Kirk. It's even people that agree with Kirk and was like, yo, I agree with Kirk, but you're crazy on that debate. Because no matter on what side you are, yo, not caring about kids is evil. And you should receive whatever you're supposed to receive because you're evil, right? Anyways, your words. Never mind.
Every motherfucker engaged in evil could burn.
It is war because ain't no talking to them, ain't nothing you say to them. They need to be controlled. They need to be fucking exiled, decapitated, whatever.
That's one of the worst takes that he had, that this was a battle between good and evil, and anybody that didn't agree with him was evil, and they need to be decapitated, they're going to hell, they need to lose their freedom. Everything that he said in those follow-up videos about people don't want to have open conversations or dialogue, and that's what's wrong with the black community. When he is the one saying he refuses to talk to anybody that doesn't agree with him.
Your cup of tea is, bro. There's no talking, bro.
It's like you are the extremist. You don't see yourself that way because everyone thinks they're the good and moral one. And Stevie thinks this is personal. I hate you. I don't give a fuck about you. But we as content creators have influence. And I'm just so sick of content creators and all this like, yo, get your money, bro. Get your bag. Yeah, you know what? I'd probably make a couple extra mils just grifting too. I think it's okay to have higher standards of people who make this kind of money. But maybe I'm just virtue signaling. I'm moral high ground. I don't even know how it's moral high ground. I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas grew up on. I grew up on like superhero shows and like basic shit like Great Responsibility. Is that moral high ground? Was Uncle Ben?
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Is Uncle Ben moral high ground? Well, I have a moral high ground. Why? Because I think a kid who don't have a meal should have a lunch? Oh, you just appeal to emotion. Y'all realize that if Jesus existed today and met some of these people in the comment section, he'd be like, let the children first be fed. They need not go away. You give them something to eat. Appeal to emotions. You're just trying to manipulate us into paying for welfare. No. I'm saying that children first should be fed. Why are you, as one of my followers, disagreeing with that? Stop taking me out of context. You're manufacturing a narrative. And I could care less. I could care less.
I could care less.
And also the audience, you guys should demand more. This whole like, yo, get your buddy, bro, get your bag. When he's advocating for shit that harms so many people.
That's against you and that's harms people.
Yeah, you know, oh yeah, get your bag. I hate the fact that now as a society, All we worship is money.
And because of that, we've made grifting acceptable. Because of that, we've made selling out your people, your culture acceptable. Because of that, we've given these people huge platforms where they can be one-sided and biased and do the best that they can to bash their own people without any pushback. And some things should absolutely be bigger or more important than money. I think Abba once again really articulated his facts and his stances really well. Meanwhile, Stevie in 2 follow-up videos didn't say one thing he did wrong and complained and cried like a victim and just said he was taken out of context the whole debate. Stevie looked bad because he looked bad, because he came unprepared, because he was uneducated on topics, because he didn't care about facts, because he came off heartless, callous, and careless about the well-being of other people. At the end of the day, I just think the tide is turning on all these black conservative grifters that have built huge platforms and made money off bashing the black community. And people are tired of it and speaking up now, just like Abba and Preach. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.